بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So continuing from the last lecture, اعلم رحمك الله أنه يجب علينا تعلم 4 مسائل. Know, that is, have knowledge, may Allah give you mercy, that it is mandatory or obligatory upon us to learn 4 issues. That was the previous lectures. I will just go ahead and clear this. I will just fix this line break as well. And then we have these 4 issues, which are enumerated here. Okay, so we can begin with the first one here. Al-Ula. That's the first one. Al-Ula meaning first, the first. And the first is actually here, this is a feminine form of Al-Awwal. Al-Awwalu, and the feminine form is Al-Ula. Ula, and this is as previously mentioned an alif maqsura, meaning that it will transform into a ya, meaning that this alif will go away if you connect it with something. And the example I will give you is if you make it into a dual, meaning you add ani, so you say the 2 first things, the 2 first, then this will be al. Oh, sorry. Al-Ulayani. Ulayani. So the alif maqsura transformed into an ya, a ya. So al-awwal masculine, al-ula feminine. الثانية here, الثانية meaning the second. الثالثة third. الرابعة fourth. And these 3 are written on the same pattern, meaning they are all written like فاعلة and داخلة and جاهلة, عالمة. So for example, if I say عالمة, which means several things, it could mean a female scholar. All right, so we here have the same pattern. عالمة, the same pattern as is used here for the numerals. ثانية meaning the second. So it is on the pattern of something that is performing an act, and this would be the act of being the second. And you also use these forms for expressing time. So الساعة الثانية means 2 o'clock. I'll actually switch back to the pencil here. الساعة الثانية, 2, meaning the second hour. ساعة meaning hour, or it can also mean slightly longer period of time than a minute. دقيقة. So anyhow, الأولى here is that you're here saying in this sentence, if this is your sentence you want to say, الأولى is the starting point, and this, which is the actual first issue we must learn, is al-ilm, meaning knowledge. Al-ula al-ilm. So this is the starting point, and this is the actual, let's say starting point and or topic, the topic of discussion, let's say. And this is a piece of information that you're informing about. So you're saying, okay, the first one, I'm going to talk about the first one, and you've informed that the first one is in fact knowledge. So it is in Arabic, as previously stated. Mubtada, and the piece of information is khabar. I will gradually phase out using these harakat for words that I've repeatedly spelled them out or written them out for. Okay, so al-ula al-ilm. First is knowledge, and implied here, as have been previously mentioned repeatedly, is, which is the copula, which is, I haven't actually verified that this is the correct term, but I fully trust the Medina Arabic books that actually say this. Okay, then we have a compound word, not exactly compound. There are other words who are like real compound words, but this is in a sense that this is a compound word, meaning that it is separated by two empty spaces, and there are two distinct words written without separation. So wa, meaning, and huwa means it or he. I will actually write this in parentheses because he is not the correct translation in this case, which is apparent in the context, which is always the case. Huwa and it, meaning that here is a clarification of what knowledge entails. So it is ma'rifa, wa huwa ma'rifatu. So huwa is also, in this case, this is, I mean, in a sense, this is a different sentence, because this one is a mubtada khabar. Here we have mubtada again. You can also put them on top of each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Mubtada, and here we have khabar. Ma'rifa, meaning to know something. It's not exactly synonymous with ilm, but I would say it is getting to know, and Allah knows best. Getting to know. Okay. And in a sense, in some contexts, this may mean, I'm not saying like that it's 100% the case in this sentence, but it may mean to familiarize yourself with. So if you say that you know someone, you know a friend, like you ask, who is Muhammad? And then you say, he is my friend. I know him. Okay, so in Arabic that would be Man Muhammad. You notice that the question mark here is flipped. Man Muhammad. And you reply, Huwa Sadiqi. He is my friend. And this is more what you may call a compound word. This is مضاف مضاف إليه. صديق meaning friend. يعني أنا. So he is my friend. And then you can say a comma. I know him. أعرفه. I know him. أعرف. This is also two words, let's say. So who is here? Huwa, which is the serving a fatha because it is the object of the verb, but it transforms into a connected ha. Hu أعرفه. I know. I know him. So this is the same word as ma'rifa. Ma'rifa is the masdar, the infinitive of أعرفه. So ma'rifatu Allahi, here Allah is mudaf ilayh. Mudaf ilayh. Mudaf ilayhi. That's why we have a kasra here. And we have, just a minute. And we have a, you can notice here, just a minute, I'll make this blue. You can notice here a lack of dhammatan, not ma'rifatun. And you can also notice that there is a lack of alif lam here, which is the three rules of the mudaf mudaf ilayh, because this is the mudaf, obviously. Mudaf. So al-ma'rifa or ma'rifatun, none of those are allowed if it's a mudaf. And mudaf ilayh gets kasra. Okay? So lafdul jalala here is obviously is Allah, and the purpose of making the mudaf ilayh relationship here in this sentence is that getting to know Allah. Yani Allah here, the mudaf ilayh, is the object of the verb getting to know. It is not a possessive relationship that Allah owns the ma'rifah. Okay, so that's that. So getting to know Allah. Wa, again, we have and. معرفة نبيه. And this is two words. It is Nabi. Sorry, actually like this. Nabi, Nabiyun, and هو يعني Allah. So this is made into a mudaf mudaf ilayh, so it becomes Nabiyuhu, his prophet. And we have a kasra here, please note, and this is because Nabi is we have a kasra here, which is because Nabi is mudaf ilayhi to ma'rifah, and the ha gets a kasra because there is a kasra preceding it. So knowledge or getting to know may be a bit inappropriate actually. Let's err on the safe side and say knowledge of his knowledge his prophet. So I will just move these because they are now, I regard them as secondary translations for ma'rifah. Allah knows best. So here we have this ma'rifah. So in any case, ma'rifah means in some extent learning about. Okay. So it is very, very, very close to al-ilm. So ma'rifatullahi, ma'rifatu nabiyyihi. Here we also have one haraka, no alif lam, and we have the same construct here. Wa ma'rifatu dini, kasra because it is mudaf to ma'rifah, so this one is mudaf. And this one is mudaf ilayh. And this Deenul Islam is the religion of Islam. So Islam is also mudaf ilayh. Just take the liberty of copying this. So we have a chain of mudaf, mudaf ilayh, mudaf, mudaf ilayh. Like that. So as we explained in, I believe, in the Basmala, in the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, one of the first lessons is that this one is mudaf, which prevents it from having any alif lam or tanween, yani two harakas. And this one is mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So it's mudaf ilayh, bringing the kasra, and it is mudaf, preventing it from taking on a alif lam and a kasratain. Okay? And this one is mudaf ilayh, but it is not mudaf. That is why we can have an alif lam here. So it has a kasra as well. And then we have a last word here. We'll just translate this first. And because this is, I mean, these constructs are mudaf ilayh, expressing the object of a verb, right? So knowledge of Allah, knowledge of his Prophet, and knowledge of the religion of Islam. And here we have a word bi al-adillati. Al-adillati, يعني al-adillah. So it's pronounced bil adillah. So it is bi, I'll make a cut here, bi and al-adillah. And adillah is plural of dalil. Dalil meaning proof, and it also means guide, meaning two things. Either a guide that is a book or pamphlet, or any kind of medium guiding you through something. Even on the internet, you will find a guide, and that is called a dalil. So, for example, the guide to pilgrimage and Umrah is called Dalilul Hajj wal Mu'tamir, or the guide that is actually the pilgrim's guide. Dalilul Hajj wal Mu'tamir, and the person making Umrah. And the plural is adillatun. Adillatun. Meaning proofs. So, bi in this case means with. With. It can mean other things. It can mean in. Ana bil masjid. I think we went through this example. Where are you? So, okay, I can ask you, for example. Aina ant. Notice the flipped question mark. Aina ant. Ana bil masjid. Or bil bayt, or what have you. Okay? That would mean in the mosque. But here we have with the proof. Proofs. With the proofs. And the here is not, general like the proofs, but the here, I believe this is called alif lam lil ahd. So this one meaning it's يعني بأدلته. So the proofs of Islam, obviously, not just any proofs, or what would be regarded in anyone's mind what a proof is, but its proofs, the proofs of Islam. الثانية العمل به, meaning acting bihi. Bihi, I also think that with would be a good translation, but what would be even more accurate would be in accordance to it. And he, bihi, in accordance to, let's do like this, and it. There we go. There's it. We make a split here. In acting in accordance to it. So it, does it mean al-ilm? It does. in this case. You know, some readers are a bit confused regarding these. You can see that in even the translators, I would say. But let's continue. I will expand upon that. الدعوة, the call or calling. To it. إليه يعني إلى and هو. الدعوة إليه. And here we start to get, I mean, readers in general. الدعوة إليه is the call to al-amal or al-ilm or al-Islam. This is something you need to refer to the books, the explanations, inshallah. But obviously you can't make da'wah to amal without ilm. So this entails indirectly both. But I believe that it is the ilm that it's referring to, and Allah knows best. الرابعة, the fourth, الصبر. Having patience. And sabr is used with the pronoun, what's it called? The pronoun ala. It is not used with fi or bi or. So having patience with, in Arabic, is ala. Al-adha, meaning adha could mean several things. Let's translate this to difficulties. Because adha can mean several things. It could mean annoyances. It could mean, you know, disturbances, and so on and so forth. It can also mean hurt, I believe. فيه, in, yet again we see here فيه, fi meaning in, he meaning huwa, it. And you know, it's when you start doing all of these in particular, that's when you you need the patience. That's when you start meeting difficulties. So it entails all of them indirectly. Allah knows best. And سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.